Hey, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we'll be making biscuits and gravy. We're doing a drop biscuit and some country gravy. And I'm going to show you a bonus chicken and biscuits at the end too. So for today's biscuits, we're going to use some all-purpose flour, baking powder, salt, buttermilk, and some butter. It's a basic recipe. I scanned the internet for so many different biscuit recipes, and yeah, it's all pretty much this. The ratios might be a little different. Sometimes people swap out regular milk for buttermilk. The most important thing is to keep your items cold. Don't overwork the dough. I've been biscuit crazy. I've been making so many different kind of biscuits. We're switching so many different kind of biscuits. Butter swim biscuits, too buttery. Rolled biscuits, cut biscuits. And for me, the drop biscuits seem to just work the best. Same results, quick, easy, no cutting, just a quick mix, drop. I'm gonna use a portion scoop, but if you just had 2 tablespoons and mound them out. But let's get started. We already went through the ingredients. Now let's get to mixing. Most recipes are gonna have just an all-purpose flour or a cake flour. Today we're using all-purpose flour. It's gonna be 2 cups of sifted flour. I'm gonna just you always sift because these little clumps. You don't sift it. Your biscuits may not be as light and fluffy. It's not end of the world. It's not gonna be terrible. You really don't need to sift. It's just an extra step for like extra light biscuits. About a tablespoon of baking powder. That's 1 teaspoon of salt. Just gonna mix that a little bit. And some recipes have asked to shave the butter, grate the butter. I'm not about that. It just takes way too much work. I'm just cutting up the butter, so we're gonna cut it into like little pats like that. This is 1 stick of butter. And they say use extra cold butter, but my thing is gonna be, after I cut it into the dough, we're gonna put the dough in the refrigerator or even the freezer just to stiffen up, get everything cold before we mix in the buttermilk. Yeah, you could use a grater, but I don't want to dirty up another thing and have to wash a grater. I don't enjoy doing that. Some say, oh, don't handle the dough because it's gonna get hot. Just cool it back down. And then it's just easier to cut into the flour too when it's not super cold. So I'm just pushing the butter and the flour through the fork just so we have these little shreds like that. You see? That's what you're looking for. These little bits of butter, when they go into the oven, are gonna melt and puff up and create those layers and create that flaky fluffiness. You can go back and double check, smush anything down that's too big. All right, so we're gonna cool this in the refrigerator for just a bit, just to get that butter cool, and then we're gonna add the buttermilk and continue on with our drop biscuits. I'm going to bake the biscuits in a cast iron skillet. We're gonna put some butter in here, put it in the oven, melt that butter, and then we're gonna drop the biscuits in. Now this is nice and chilled. We're gonna add our buttermilk. So I'm not gonna use all the buttermilk. I'm just gonna pour it in, stir it, and then when it gets to the right consistency of like wet, a little shaggy, and then we'll stop. But we don't want to over mix it either. If you over mix the biscuits, they'll just get tough. They're not going to be as tender. You're going to develop the gluten in the flour, and that's what's going to give it that chew. And with biscuits, you want them to be melt in your mouth kind of texture. That's the goal of any kind of biscuit. So you want to see those flecks of butter, big flecks, little flecks. When you grate the butter, it's kind of just evenly integrated. It tastes kind of like to me, like an industrial biscuit, if that makes any sense. It's just kind of this homogeneous kind of Wonder Bread kind of like texture when you do the grated butter. It's good in its own sense, but this feels more authentic, like something that you did 100 years ago. So looks like it's coming together. There you go. It's ready to be dropped. You could put more butter than this if you'd like to. Drop the biscuits like that. Okay, give them some space. So we're gonna make 4 biscuits. The rest of the dough, we're gonna make our chicken biscuit. Just gonna set this aside. And then this is gonna go in a 400-degree oven for about 15-20 minutes. We're gonna check on it. While the biscuits are baking, we're gonna get the sausage gravy rolling. And if you wanted a really meaty country gravy, use the entire pack. That might be an idea too. Let's cook up all the sausage, and then I'm gonna save the other half for something in the morning. A thing to remember is when you have like raw products, as soon as you get it, especially ground meat products, when it comes home, you need to cook it like within a day or two. Don't leave it in the fridge for a couple of days, a few days. You know, I would with like whole pieces of meat, you could get away with that. But anything ground up, I would want to cook it right away. So let's cook it all now. And after you cook it, it will be good for about 5 days. All right, so let's leave that alone. Let it brown, let it cook. So you could cook the hell out of a sausage. I like to get it way more brown than this, just to develop the flavor. And it's a part of the gravy. And you could start here, but I want to develop a little more flavor, get some browning going on. That's gonna add to the overall end flavor. And we just need a little more browning on there. It's starting to sizzle and pop now. We're very close to it being done because it's sizzling and popping. Most of the water has evaporated now, and now it's just cooking. We're gonna use all the meat. It's gonna be a meaty one, and I'm just gonna have a lot of gravy. I changed my mind.
It's a test kitchen.
It's a test kitchen. So at this point, I'm gonna lower the heat just a little bit. I'm gonna lower the heat because there's some caramelization there going. So we just need to add a little bit of flour. 2 tablespoons of flour to start with. Because I'm gonna use about 2 cups of milk. The general rule for like any kind of sauce or a roux when you're making a gravy, it's 1 tablespoon of flour, one tablespoon of fat. In this case, we're using the sausage, the fat from the sausage, and then 1 cup of water. So it's a 1-1-1. 1 tablespoon of flour, 1 tablespoon of fat, and then 1 cup of water. So you can add it in slowly, let it slowly absorb while we stir. So we browned 1 pound of sausage. We've added 2 tablespoons of flour. We didn't need to add any extra fat to it because we used the fat from the sausage. And then I'm slowly adding in 2 cups of milk. Use any kind of milk you want. Today I had whole milk in the fridge, so that's what we're using. A few recipes online will have you put like garlic powder, onion powder. I think a true biscuits and gravy doesn't have any of that. It's just salt and pepper, because you want the flavor of the sausage and just the cream and the milk. I bought the Walmart brand sausage when I did the test the other day, and it was salty. Today we're using Jimmy Dean sausage, and I'm gonna check the salt. Once we're done, we're gonna put in the rest of this milk here. Add some fresh pepper. Some people like it really peppery. Just gonna taste it for salt. Yeah, this sausage is not as salty as the other brand. So just a touch of salt. Oh, and hot sauce. I'm gonna use a Tabasco today. Just a touch of cayenne pepper. And a little bit of vinegar is gonna brighten things up just a bit. All right, look, we're all done. This is some people like it a little thicker. It's gonna thicken up as it cools too. But this is the consistency that you want, you know? This is how that coats the back of a spoon like that. That's the consistency. It's gonna be very velvety smooth. All right, I'm gonna turn off the heat and we're gonna get the biscuits out of the oven. I'm just gonna brush these with a little butter, but they are ready to go. Now we're plating these drop biscuits. Oh my God, those are buttery. 2 biscuits. This is a serving for 2. This is for a really large serving. What we made today was probably for 2 to 4 people. 4 people, because it's really rich. But the other day when I made it, I ate 2. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Not the best looking dish, but so comforting. And just, yeah, this dish takes me back. Yeah, who doesn't love biscuits and who doesn't love a good breakfast sausage? Taste wise, I think it's gonna be a home run. That's comfort on a plate. This reminds me of childhood diner experience, you know, biscuits and gravy on a Sunday. Easy, quick. This took about like half an hour, start to finish, making biscuits from scratch. If you had store-bought biscuits, you could get the gravy done, I think 15 minutes. So why don't you give this a try? It's a super easy recipe. This could be part of a really nice brunch. It's a make ahead, nice to reheat in addition to your brunch table, having some biscuits and gravy. I think that'd be a really nice touch for something that's very comforting. So if you have any ways of making this prettier, please leave a comment down below on how you make this fancy. I have no clue. I've always seen it like this, and it's always looked kind of sloppy, but I'm still gonna eat it. It's delicious. Hey guys, bonus video. This is gonna be a quick, easy, I'm gonna say it's like 20 minutes start to finish. Get your oven preheated. We have leftover rotisserie chicken, some frozen broccoli, a can of cream of mushroom soup if you use any kind of cream soup that you'd like. We have half of our leftover biscuit dough that we're gonna top this chicken and biscuit. So it's super easy. We're just gonna layer in shredded chicken. Just love a Costco chicken or rotisserie chicken. I like Costco because it's the biggest one. I've gotten it at a regular grocery store, and wow, it's like half the size. You know, you get so much bang for your buck for a Costco chicken. You can put as much or as little chicken as you want. Leftover frozen broccoli. I like a lot of broccoli, but I don't want to overcrowd it. I love the convenience of a ready-made soup mix. I used to be all like, oh no, you can't do that, you're not cooking. Still cooking when you're busy. We're gonna thin it out with some milk too. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. A little salt, a little pepper. Just gonna stir everything up. I made this the other day because I came home and I was so tired and I didn't know what I wanted to eat, and I was just going through my fridge and I had leftover chicken, frozen broccoli. I have a lot of pantry foods that are about to expire, and so this was perfect. And all you have to do is pop it in the oven for about 20 minutes and you're ready. So we're gonna, before we do that though, it's gonna drop in these biscuit pieces. All right, so this could go in uncovered. 20 minutes, everything's cooked, so it just needs to you just need to make sure the biscuits are cooked. That's going to take about 15-20 minutes, and then by that time everything's going to be nice and bubbly. So this is gonna go in the oven and see when it comes out. All right, so this just came out of the oven. It looks good. The biscuits are all cooked, it's still saucy. Oh my God, you're gonna wanna let this sit for about like 5-10 minutes because it's probably molten lava and you don't wanna burn your mouth. But for a 20-minute meal, very little prep. We had leftover biscuit dough, but if you had like canned biscuits, I think it would be just as good. Use whatever brand you'd like, even like the be kind of a chicken pot pie too, ish, with a if you did a puff pastry or a pie crust on top. Um, but I wanted to go easy. Again, we use a cream of mushroom soup. You can make your own soup: a little flour, a little milk, and some chicken broth, even water, if that's all you got, and it will still be just as good. Yeah, feed 4 people for this fish thing right now. Making homemade biscuits is definitely worth it. It just has a cleaner taste. They come together real easy. It's cheaper than the store-bought biscuits. Even though with the convenience of store-bought biscuits, it just has this over-processed chemical taste that you just really can't escape, like whatever you use. I've seen people make like hand pies, biscuit tops, and all that, like a chicken pot pie with the biscuits. And though it's convenient, it has that chemical over processed taste. And even if you look at the back of the ingredients, it probably has a load of ingredients to keep it fresh in the can. So, you know, for your own health, go with this. I know we used canned soup, but that's a shelf stable emergency food. I wouldn't normally eat. I don't eat this every day. I buy a case of the canned soup for my prepping needs, just in case of an emergency. And this is just about to expire in about a month, so I need to use it up. People grew up with this. I grew up using canned soup for all my casserole needs, and that's not the overprocessed thing. I think if you do all processed things like canned soup and then the canned biscuits, it's going to end up tasting a certain way. Let's elevate that a little bit by, incorporating like more fresh ingredients like onions and peppers and some more seasoning to it. But this is a good start. Definitely recommend making this. I will be making this again, but maybe just jazzing it up a little more. But yeah, I hope you give it a try. Take care. Love you guys.